ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17 and Shloka number 37 and 38. So these two shlokas we are going to discuss today. So Shloka number 37. अभ्यर्थितस्तथा तस्मै स्थानानि कलये दधौ द्यूतं पानं स्त्रियशून यत्र अधर्मश्चतुर्विधः। अभ्यर्थितस्तथा तस्मै स्थानानि कलये दधौ द्यूतं पानं स्त्रियशून यत्र अधर्मश्चतुर्विधः. This is a very, very important shloka. Srila Prabhupada has quoted this shloka in umpteen number of places. The translation goes, Suta Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, thus being petitioned by the personality of Kali, gave him permission to reside in places where gambling, drinking, prostitution and animal slaughter were performed. So you must be knowing this Leela, like when Parikshit was going on a hunting ride, Parikshit saw a man who is very ugly but dressed like a king. Is very ugly, but he has dressed himself like a king, and he has broken 3 legs of a cow and a bull, and he was about to break the 4th leg, and the cow and the bull, they were screaming out of pain. And Parikshit Maharaj was very genuinely compassionate, very naturally compassionate. He jumped from his chariot, pulled out his sword and ran towards that man and pushed him off and tried to give solace to the cow and bull. The cow and bull said, "We are Bhumi Devi and Dharmaraj, and this is what is going to happen. Kali is going to start." So they gave some instructions to Parikshit. After doing this, Parikshit became so wild with that man, that ugly looking man, but he was dressed himself like a king. So Parikshit became so angry with that person. Then he was about to kill him. And that man was Kali Purusha, personification of Kali, Kali Yuga. Then he requested, that is what is given, Abhyartita. Abhyartita means he requested. He begged actually. He begged and said, "O Maharaj Parikshit, please give me also a place, In your kingdom there is, everybody is there. Why don't you give me a place?" He was begging. Sthanani kalaye dadau. Kali needs a sthana. I also have to live. I need a place. Sthanani kalaye dadau. Please give me a place. Then Parikshit said, okay. Dyutam panam striyasuna. Go. Wherever people are drinking liquor, wherever they are gambling, wherever there is illicit, immoral relationship happens between a man and a woman, then wherever people are eating meat, go there. You go and stay there. Why? Yatra adharmas chaturvidaha. Adharma, these 4 places are adharma, and you go and stay there. So Kali gave sanction, Parikshit gave sanction to Kali Purusha. So we should very simply understand, wherever there is meat eating, gambling, then intoxication, and immoral relationship between a man and a woman, in all these places Kali will stay, because these are all houses of adharma. Like we have a house and you have 4 doors in 4 directions, and these are the 4 doors through which adharma will enter our house. Once adharma enters, then there won't be shanti. Kali will enter, kalaha and kapatya. But look here, very interesting thing, even Kali Purusha begged and entered, abhyartita. He also did not come very strongly, okay, I need a place, you open your doors and I want to enter. He didn't come forcefully. Kali was begging. So what we understand from this is, Kali also takes a very different sattvic role in Kali Yuga. Kali also doesn't look, in previous yugas, if Kali comes, you can identify him because he will have 2 big horns on his head and 1 red tongue hanging around, and he will be looking gora like that. So we will be able to understand this man is Kali. But what do we understand from this shloka? Kali comes like a very humble person, begging, please allow me. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur once jokingly said, in Kali Yuga, Kali also will be wearing Kantimala and Tilak just to cheat us. Kali Purusha also will wear nice, beautiful Kantimala and beautiful Tilak, and Kali will come and say Hari Bol, just to deceive, just to cheat people of Kali Yuga. Even Kali Purusha will come in this form. So Kali came and begging, abhyartita. Like a Vaishnava, Kali is begging. And Kali is telling, "Oh Parikshit, please give me a place. I need a place. I have to live." Right? So we have to be very careful. What form Ravana took to kidnap Mother Sita. This is very important. Ravana did not come like a king. Ravana didn't come like an emperor. Ravana did not take any other form. The form Ravana took was sannyas dharma. To kidnap Mother Sita, Ravana assumed sannyas form and came. See, this is what Kali will do. Kali will not very boldly come and attack us and it will, come, like straight. Kali will come in a deceiving form, cheating form, very humbly, with tilak, with Vishkaintimala, speaking very sweet words. Kali will come and say, I am your best friend. Anyway, you have headache, no? Nothing wrong. You can break your japa for 2 days. Krishna will understand. Krishna is there in your heart as Paramatma, no? And yesterday you were very busy and you didn't waste time. You were working for your family only, right? And that particular 30 minutes television program, anyway you are watching for 1 year without break. What is wrong? Krishna will understand everything. And tomorrow you can doubly chant. You can add this and chant tomorrow. So Kali will come and talk so sweetly. How Mantara talked to Kaikeyi. Very sweet she spoke. What form Ravana took. These are all very important. When Kali comes, Kali will come like this only. And he will beg, he will very nice, talk very sweetly, very deceptively. It may look like a spiritual thing, but actually it is not a spiritual topic. Sometimes devotees also gather together. Instead of discussing about Krishna, they will discuss some pain and problem they had. Initially it is nice, and slowly the topic will deviate them. And full 2 hours they were discussing the mistake of some other devotee. Very important to know. Kali will come in Abhyartitaha, in a very humble, simple form. Kali will come. Sthanani kalaye dadau. 4 places Kali is staying. That is why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warned us, don't even go near these 4 places. Dyutam Panam Striyasuna. Wherever people are gambling, wherever people are drinking, wherever immoral connections are there between man and woman, and wherever animals are killed. Right? Yatra adharmas chaturvidaha. These 4 places are adharma's place. And in the purport, Prabhupada is giving a beautiful 3-pointed solution. What should be done? So never indulge in imaginative business. Prabhupada is speaking about economy. In this particular shloka and in the next shloka, Prabhupada is speaking economy. Never indulge in imaginative business. And he is telling to control tongue, take Ekadashi austerity. Very strictly you follow Ekadashi austerity. And beautiful 3-pointed solution Prabhupada gives. Don't eat meat and do like this, do like that. And he's not talking to us. Prabhupada is not talking to us alone. Prabhupada is giving solution for the government how to rule. It is so interesting when you go to Vrindavan, you can go to Prabhupada's room and there is a diary. Prabhupada had fixed an appointment to meet that Prime Minister of that time, Srimati Indira Gandhi. Prabhupada had fixed an appointment and Prabhupada wanted to go and meet her, the Prime Minister. And in his tiny pocket diary, small diary, very beautifully, Prabhupada's handwriting is very nice, like royal, handwriting. He has written 10 points what should be discussed with Indira Gandhi. And in one point in that is telling, stop cow killing in the entire nation. Beautiful 10 points he has written. But unfortunately, she was very busy. I think some China war or India-Pak war, something was going on in 1971 or 72. I think 70 something, I'm not sure about the date, and she cancelled the appointment. Indira Gandhi cancelled the appointment and Prabhupada could not meet her, unfortunately. But Prabhupada told his disciples, if you meet her, you convince these 10 points. You know, Prabhupada is not, this is called an Acharya. This is called an Acharya. So Acharya can see what will happen for next 5,000 years, 10,000 years. He's not addressing to one, if you take any story in Mahabharata, it is multiple solution. Any Leela in Mahabharata will give solution for Karna, solution for Draupadi, solution for Arjuna, solution for Bhima, solution for Yudhishthira, solution for Dhritarashtra. Everybody will get answer from that one Leela. In the same way, Prabhupada has written this great glorious Bhagavatam not only for ourselves, it's for leaders, it's for community heads, it's for nation, it's for economy, it is for everyone. So we are so fortunate to go through this Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam, distribute Bhagavatam. Amazing seva we are doing. So Prabhupada gives beautiful 3-pointed solution. Then Prabhupada is speaking difference between Pravritti Marg and Nivritti Marg. This is very important for a preacher and a beginner, practitioner. Prabhupada is telling, don't stop everything. First we are adharmic. We were doing, many of us were doing these 4 things or at least 1 or 2 of these things, eating meat. Many people were eating meat earlier and when they came to Krishna consciousness, they became purified. But Prabhupada gives a beautiful system how to preach. First is adharma. Second is controlled dharma. Then that leads to complete nivritti marg. And he says how to use money. If you study this purport, how to use money, how to balance life, everything. And a beautiful example Prabhupada is giving about Shautramani Yajna in Bengal and in North India. People will know about this. Prabhupada is writing in the purport Shautramani Yajna. There was a yajna in those days. And you know what they do to practice this yajna, to perform this yajna at home? They will drink a lot of liquor. The pujari will come, drink a lot of liquor, and they will do all abominable things. Cut a pig and drop it inside the yajna. Cut a sheep and put it inside yajna, and they will eat that flesh, and they will have all, sexual relationship. Sura means, becoming Shudra. To perform that yajna, that man has to become Shudra. So he will degrade himself to become a Shudra and perform this yajna. It is called Shautramani Yajna. So they will get all black magic power. They will please all kinds of gods and all these things. And amazingly, Prabhupada is writing, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is writing, this is not bad. So what do we understand from this? This is of course a bad yajna. Drinking, eating meat, and Prabhupada very surprised. It's written, it is not bad. Why? This is recommended for that kind of low class people who were drinking all the time, eating meat all the time, having wrong connections and relationship all the time. So for them, one regulation is given. And from the regulation, they are purified and uplifted. Right? So this is the tactics we should use while preaching. We should see in what category that person is. You know, when the man who is eating meat 3 times a day, taking liquor every day, one day you go and tell him, Prabhuji, you stop everything from today. He will say, of course, thank you so much. And he will stop meeting you from that day. He will not stop drinking and eating. He will stop meeting us forever. So what this Purushottam month is very good. Then we will tell, Arey Purushottam month, don't drink for this 20 days, 30 days, it is bad. And slowly put little fear in that, your son will have horn and he will have red tongue if you drink, put little fear in him, like that. So regulated dharma, then comes Nivritti marg. So it's very important. Because these 4 things are yatra adharmas chaturvida. These 4 are house of adharma. And if anybody has got connection with these things, definitely, Kali will enter through these 4 gates. And one devotee here beautifully has asked question, what about mutual fund and depositing in shares and things like that? So Prabhupada is giving answer, where your direct effort is not there and future is completely based on imagination, that is all related to gambling. So we don't know what exactly it is. Now we have to do research and find out what we are doing. Okay. So then we go to shloka number 39. Next shloka. Punascha yajamanaya jatarubam atat prabhu tato anartham madam kamam rajo vairam cha panchamam. This is very important. Punascha yajamanaya jatarubam atat prabhu tato anartham madam kamam rajo vairam cha panchamam. See, punascha yajamanaya. See, look at this. We have to be very careful with Kali Purusha. See, once he came begging, that is what it said, abhyartita. In the previous shloka it is said, Kali Purusha came begging. And Parikshit said, okay, you stay in this 4 place. Still Kali Purusha was not very satisfied, because Kali knew in Parikshit's rule there is no such place. There is no place where there is no meat eating, meat eating, intoxication. Because when Parikshit was ruling, he was such a perfect monarch. There was no place. So Kali went and made a round and came back and said, Punascha yajamanaya. Again Kali begged. Again Kali did not fight. Again, yajamana, yajana means beggar, begging. See, in the previous shloka, Kali requested. Now in the shloka, Kali is begging. These 4 places are not enough. Because Parikshit, you are a perfect ruler. And there is no place where I can stay, glorifying Parikshit and begging like a beggar. Then Kali became compassionate. Parikshit became compassionate and said, Jatarupa, you go and stay where there is gold. Go and stay where there is gold. And immediately Shukadev Goswami is writing, Tato anartham madam kamam rajavaira. These 5 things always stays with gold. What is that? Anartham. Anartham means falsity. Actually, it's not exactly falsity. Anartham means complete wrong things, wrong deeds. Madam, madness. Kamam, lust. Rajaha, rajoguna. Vairam, enmity. These 5 things will stay with gold. But don't worry, Matajis, don't worry, because Prabhupada says Matajis are allowed to hold little gold. Prabhupada is writing in the purport, so don't be upset. Prabhupada said, don't worry, you can have little gold. He is in the purport itself, Prabhupada is giving little sanction. Right? But we should understand these 5 places, gold is the residence of these 5 places. And Bhagavatam speaks about Shamantaka Mani story. Very important, we should understand. Shamantaka Mani, per day this Shamantaka Mani will produce 300 tola of gold. 1 tola is 10 gram. That means 300 tola. 3 kilo gold this Shamantaka Mani will produce per day. Something huge actually, I don't know the exact calculation. And Satrajit Maharaj was having this Shamantaka Mani. Krishna told, very bad. Please give away this Shamantaka Mani. Don't keep it with yourself. This is going to bring lot of danger to you. But Satrajit didn't listen. And it's a big story. Wherever Shamantaka Mani traveled, there was inauspiciousness. So one day the Raja's brother took that money, he got killed. Then lion had that money, the lion got killed. Then Krishna got this money. Even Krishna, people started speaking bad about Krishna. They all said, Satrajit specifically said, Krishna only stole this money. So wherever Shamantaka Mani traveled, everywhere inauspiciousness was there. So Prabhupada is telling, and Shukdev Goswami is writing, when there is surplus money, definitely hiding tendency, cheating tendency, lust, everything will be there. That's why Prabhupada gave 2 beautiful instructions to ISKCON devotees, which is successfully no ISKCON devotees following. Prabhupada gave this beautiful 2 instruction. To us, he told, to all the temple people, full-timers, he told, don't save any money. Whatever collection you get, keep very little for emergency and conduct a big festival and spend the whole day and go to sleep at the night like a beggar. He told that instruction to all the temple devotees, full-time devotees, you understood? Collect as much as possible. How much money you can collect, you collect. And conduct a big festival for Krishna. Give so much of prasad. Do kirtan, bada festival. Spend everything. Go to sleep like a beggar, 0 money. And next day morning again you beg. Conduct a big festival. This is one beautiful instruction he gave to us. And what instruction he gave to householders? First he said, 50% dhan you give for preaching purpose. Then Prabhupada saw devotees and all were like, little upset. Then Prabhupada said, okay. 25% you give. So these 2 beautiful instructions Prabhupada gave to all of us, which none of us are following. Thank you very much. We are all like that only. Right? So Prabhupada gives a whole wonderful economical status in these 2 purports. What to be done, what should not be done, how to manage. Okay? So one beautiful lesson here. Alright? Prabhupada, the beautiful lesson from this 2 shloka is the nature of Kali. In the first shloka, Kali is requesting, and the second shloka, Kali is begging. We should know, like Ravana took sannyas form. Mantara spoke very sweetly to Kaikeyi. And when Haridas Thakur was chanting 21 hours a day, 2 times, first a prostitute came, second Maya Devi came. 2 times ladies came to Haridas Thakur and very sweetly said, Haridas, you are very young and handsome. I am also in the brim of my youth, glowing Taruni Mani. I am a young, beautiful, blossoming lady. Why don't we enjoy? Why don't we spend time together? Why are you wasting time in chanting? Very sweetly, Kali came and begged to Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was such a great person, pure person. What he did, he happily handled it. Very pleasing way he handled it and said, yeah, of course I will satisfy you, but let me finish my sadhana. But we should not do that stunt. You tell to Maya Devi, yes, definitely I will please you. You wait. She will take us and go. We are not so strong like Haridas Thakur, right? So we should know what is exactly compassion. What is compassion? We should know where to draw a line. I saw one preacher, very wonderful couple, they are preaching and strongly preaching, and they have made many devotees, and a very wonderful and sincere couple. They were chanting, making devotees, wonderful devotees and all. And their son was studying in 12th standard, So I just asked him, Prabhu, how many rounds you are chanting? And the boy said, I'm chanting 1 round, Prabhu, but exam times I don't chant because I'm very busy. And the couple, husband and wife, they are strong preachers. And they have made many people devotees. Many people were chanting 16 rounds. And this boy had taken birth in a devotee family right from the day 1. And he doesn't chant. And the mother tells, Prabhuji, he's very busy. He has got so many things to do, the tuition and this and that and, so many things to do. He doesn't get time to chant. But, he knows all the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He knows by Brahma Samhita by heart. And Kirtan, he does amazing Kirtan, but doesn't chant Hare Krishna. Right? And mother is showing a genuine compassion to the son. But on the other side, they are preaching to the whole world and making them devotees. Same, we should exactly know what is mercy and what is compassion. So the definition of compassion is a person getting something higher, an undeserved person getting something higher. That is compassion. And once he gets, he should be uplifted. And that is compassion. And what does compassion should do? Prabhupada writes, every single devotee in International Society for Krishna Consciousness should become independently, rightly thoughtful personality. This is what the definition is given by. Independently, rightly thoughtful person. So that is compassion. It is not like somebody is telling, Prabhuji, I don't have money to drink. Okay, take this money and go and drink liquor. I don't have money to eat meat. Okay, take this money and go and eat meat. That is not compassion. We show them compassion so that they become independently strong devotee who can face Kali. Because anartham, these 5 things, anartham, madam, kamam, rajoguna vairam cha panchamam, these 5 things are very dangerous. And Kali will enter so sweetly, right? Then in the 2 purports, Prabhupada is speaking very elaborately about economy. And one point Prabhupada is speaking is the difference between good money and bad money. I don't know whether we have heard this. Prabhupada is telling what is good money and bad money. The money will definitely have the influence of the person who has earned it, whether he has earned it righteous or he has earned it non-religious. That is why once in Calcutta, a rich man, rich man, he once donated money. And that money, he used to do all liquor business and all sorts of abominable activities. very surprised. Sorry, not Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We will be very surprised. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, don't use this money in bhoga for the deities. Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, use this money in some construction, buying furniture, some kind of work, digging well and construction and all these things. Don't use this money directly for the deity. Once Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said this, because the man who donated this money is doing all kinds of nonsense. This is bad money, he said. And Prabhupada is also speaking about good money and bad money. So these things are very, very important. So we should very strictly follow these 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex and gambling. So initially, we follow these 4 regulative principles physically. Initially, when we are becoming devotees, when we are joining the spiritual organization, whatever satsang, initially we were strictly following these principles physically. Once we are devotees, Bhaktivinoda Thakur takes these 4 principles to a different level. First we follow physically, then this principle is followed in a different level. For example, take meat eating. Okay, initially we say, devotees, please don't eat meat, this is not good, if you eat meat, mercy will disappear and Krishna consciousness cannot be established, stop eating meat. Then we will say, okay, stop eating onion, garlic, drinking and all this. So then what happens? The devotee practices this for 2 years continuously, very strictly. Then he is qualified for Diksha, initiation. Then the devotee thinks, okay, I am follow these 4 regulative principles, I am already a devotee, I don't have to worry about it anymore. No. The principle comes again after initiation. How does that come? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains this. When we kill an animal and eat the flesh, we lose the quality called mercy and Krishna consciousness cannot be established. Once we become a devotee, we all have 2 bodies, gross body and subtle body. We all have 2 bodies, right? Before becoming a devotee, we were killing gross body. After becoming a devotee, we are killing subtle body. How? Subtle body is made out of mind, ego and intelligence. Right? Many times we hurt people mentally. So when we hurt people mentally, we are killing the subtle body made out of mind, ego and intelligence. We are pricking his subtle body. That means we are also doing the same killing, taking a knife and hurting him by words, by thoughts, by action. And that devotee feels very bad. Yesterday he spoke about me so bad and he feels bad, he thinks bad. So that man is subtly killed. So when we kill, both bodies are same. As per Bhagavad Gita, we have 2 bodies, gross body and subtle body. One step further, subtle body is more important than gross body. Gross body is a dead machine. Subtle body is one step higher than the gross body. So what a devotee does, he is killing subtle body, which is even more sinful than killing a gross body. So we are also doing animal killing, body killing, human killing. So when we do that, again the quality called mercy will disappear. So again we are breaking principles. So before Diksha we were breaking principles grossly. After Diksha we are breaking principles subtly. Right? And once a great Acharya said, what is real compassion? and a man is walking on the roadside, he can see somebody is killing an animal. And if water comes from his eyes, he is compassionate. If water comes out of his tongue, then he is materialistic. So, that genuine compassion, even to the subtle body. Now, devotees, we are not eating meat. We are showing compassion to the gross body. But we should learn to be compassionate to the subtle body, not to hurt anybody mentally, not to speak harsh words, not to speak provoking words. Keep always a sattvic relation, always glorifying and appreciating devotees. Sanatan Goswami had this sadhana. He was practicing this. It is written that every day he will glorify 1000 devotees and pay namaskara. Sanatan Goswami. Every day he will glorify 1000 devotees and pay obeisances to them. They had this kind of sadhana and they kept count of it. That was amazing. They kept a count. That is why in Sadgoswami Ashtakam we sing, Sankhya Purvaka Nama Ghana Natabi. Sankhya Purvaka. They had Sankhya, numbers. How many obeisances I should pay, how many namaskara I should do, how many rounds I should go around Govardhan, how many times I should chant. They kept a number, they kept a count on it. Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natabi. How much I walked, how much I sang, how much I chanted. They kept a number, because sometimes when we preach, devotees say, no Prabhu, I don't count, I'm always chanting. Hare Krishna is in my heart all the time. I don't keep a count, like that. But that is wrong. Sadgoswamis are saying keep a count, because only if you keep a count, you will be disciplined. Right? So these two shlokas are very, very beautiful shlokas. And the highlight of the shloka is how Kali Purusha is coming in a very sweet way and deceiving us. So we should know how to practice, and we should have genuine compassion. Okay? So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.